Hello, everyone, and welcome to Reimagine 2021, brought to you by Mousebelt. I'm your co-host, Ashlie Meredith, and today we're bringing you a very special edition of our virtual blockchain conference series. This is our 10th anniversary event. We've been able to do this almost every month or every other month since May 2020. So 10 times now, we've been bringing you community and education and this conference virtually while everyone's stuck at home, and we're just glad to have built the following that we have and have the opportunity to talk to so many amazing guests. So without any further ado, I am pleased to introduce you to our next guest, Frida Cai. She's the co-founder and partner at Sperax. It's a new blockchain platform that connects you with modern money. Welcome, Frida. How are you doing today?
Good. How are you, Ashley? That's a really smooth intro.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm doing great. Thank you so much for joining us. So before we go dive into some of the exciting grant programs you're working on with this platform, let's introduce people to Sperax. So you'll be originally launching on the Ethereum network, but you are actually building your own blockchain. Can you tell viewers more about what Sperax does? Why is it different from other blockchains? And what are some of the offerings that your platform has?
Yeah. So Sperax was founded in late 2019, and originally we built nothing but a layer one. It's called BDLS as consensus protocol. However, after we're hitting a few walls, trying to get some investment, we realized that layer one was not the only answer to our vision, which is to onboard 1 million users to the DeFi verse or just to the crypto verse, because you cannot facilitate that much of a mass adoption. So we onboarded very talented researchers and also stablecoin designers, and together we roll out our own hybrid stablecoin. It's called USDS. And after that, we still figure we need something more of a tool to connect that directly with the general mass. So we we developed our own mobile app. It's called Sperax Play, which will be rebranded into Spark in the upcoming 2 months. And Spark already, according to our website, as you can see, has already welcomed 1.5 million downloads. It currently has over 550K active users to use the app right now. And we're very confident it will be the portal for people to not only onboard to our DeFi verse, but also to the general crypto ecosystem. So that would be the overall plan. However, we're also developing our own layer one, as Ashlie mentioned earlier, that it's not like a direct competitor to Ethereum. That's not how we vision. We vision the future blockchain verse will be multi-chain. It's all about interoperability. So even though our BDLS consensus protocol can reach the finalization in 3 rounds in comparison to other protocols like Hot Stuff or Libra, which might require 7 rounds to achieve the linear authenticator complexity. We pretty much double the efficiency, but we still picture the future will be interoperable. So that is the overall rundown of Sperax.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think you see a lot of blockchain protocols lately have been working on this ability to either wrap tokens or communicate with other blockchains. So I think interoperability is the future and a smart direction that you all are going. Why did you all think it was important to have a stable coin right away for onboarding the next million users to DeFi? Congratulations, by the way, on 1.5 million downloads, hundreds of thousands of active users. I think you're well on your way to getting people involved. Why is focusing on stablecoins and this DeFi platform?
Yeah, so from a macro level, I think it has become a little manifest that fiat currencies, which are the government issued paper money like USD, RMB, euros, have some unnecessary frictions like inflation, international remittance fees, government shutdowns, financial infrastructure blackouts, and more. So stablecoins are trying to solve these challenges by offering the best of both worlds, which is the global instant secure private payments of cryptocurrencies and the price stability of major fiat currencies. However, after extensive amount of research, we felt that existing stablecoins, though the liquidity is higher and higher, but they are inadequately designed that there are a lot room to be improved. So it means that either they cannot be scaled to meet the demand, or they require a huge degree of technical expertise to use, or they might be centralized stablecoin, which means there's a subject to government regulations and censorship. So that is why we're thinking about we want to dive into this blue sea and see we can develop a stablecoin to answer all that questions. Yeah. Is there a second question? Sorry.
Yes, just your DeFi platform and what you're trying to do with that.
Oh, the mobile app?
Yeah.
Yes. So my vision was that I always compare what we are doing in DeFi right now versus how internet got developed decades ago. That at the beginning, nobody knew what that was. People were super susceptible, but everybody now use Safari, use Chrome, use Google, all kind of browsers. Still, people are not aware how these browsers work, but you know it's good for you because you can search whatever you want on the internet and get the information you need. That is what I want to see with our platforms, that you don't necessarily need to understand the intricacy behind all these technical problems. You just need to know that by adopting this app, you can directly benefit by using some DeFi protocols, lending and borrowing, synthetic assets options, and all that. You can directly earn passive income. That is the key, that once people can get their financial lives instantly elevated by using these DeFi products, they will know that this is the future. And however, the challenge right now is the user interface, because DeFi is extremely complicated, but we are confident to simplify the user experience and make it as smooth as possible.
Absolutely. I think that's so important. And I hear from people all the time on the show who, see the problem in the blockchain space as this barrier to entry for
Yes.
people using these products. They're very difficult to use. And that the future of blockchain is that it's going to become like the internet, like our smartphones, like all these apps and
Yes.
websites where we don't know how the cryptography that's being used to secure our bank websites when we see a little lock icon come on, but we trust and we just know that they work and we're able to realize the benefits of it. So that's really awesome.
I
Well,
think
thanks for,
people are,
yeah,
I'm sorry to cut you out.
go for it.
No, it's just I'm confident, super confident that the general masses have been infiltrated by the crypto related knowledge enough at this moment. They're ready to adopt a certain interface to actually get involved with this industry. It's just nobody so far has done it a good job to make it as simple as possible. So I think that is where we can come in to be the leader of the mobile front of the crypto world.
Absolutely. So that's what you've accomplished so far. What do you see on the roadmap for maybe like the next year?
For the roadmap, so first of all, we are gonna onboard some fiat services onto our mobile app. We already secure a deal with OnRamper to offer, like I mentioned, fiat services, and then we will start integrating DeFi protocols on our platform. So to begin with, people will interact with our own stablecoin, our own synthetic assets, and then they can start to seamlessly trade between fiat and cryptos. And lastly, you can consider our platform like an aggregator of all kind of DeFi protocols. That will be the roadmap.
Awesome. Let's slow down a little bit and talk about you. Co-founder of this new company. You have an interesting background. As you may know, we have a university program. So any students who are tuning in, really encourage you to both head over to our YouTube channel, Reimagine 2020, check out more of our interviews there, learn about this space, hit that subscribe button, but also mousefelt.university, where we've engaged with students from 100 universities in 24 countries. And I always like to ask people, how did you get into crypto? You have a pretty extensive background in journalism. Was this a big career change for you? How did you make that change? How did you get interested in crypto in the first place? And do you have any advice for students looking to do the same?
Yeah, so as a journalist in the past, I not only focus on social news, political news, also had extensive exposure to fintech news. So that is when I get to know about artificial intelligence, smart retail, drones, gene testing, all the fascinating rising fintech related topics. And that is how I got involved with crypto news. And I made friends with a lot of CoinDesk editors, reporters, and we just chat about this industry all the time. But that was like in 2017 and 18. I was still very determined to be like a traditional journalist with a little bit data skill. So I got admitted to Columbia Journalism School, majoring in data journalism. So I never visioned myself to be a commander of coding. I just think this is the future. I need to at least have a sense of what it feels like. So I graduated from that program, but in the meantime, I always have this feeling. I'm a person who always followed her guts. So 2 years ago, I know coding programming will be the future. That is why I chose data journalism, this program. And also at the same time, I figure blockchain cryptocurrencies will be the hype for the next decade. And through friends of the friends, I got connected with Joe Yu at UCLA. He majored in computer science and philosophy, and he was working on this consensus protocol. So together, I had this vision. We can talk about this later, like how Sperax come into life. I had this vision of decentralized finance, and he got the technology. So we together just naturally started to brainstorm how we can make this into reality. So that is basically how Sperax was born. And that is how I got into crypto. If any advice for university students or even high school students who are interested in crypto, I would say just go for it. This is pretty much the best age to get involved. Young people are needed more than ever. As long as you're passionate about, you are actively involving in liquidity mining, in investing yourself, I would say you could be a great asset. You would be a great talent addition to any promising crypto startup.
Awesome. Yeah, no, tell us more about how Sperax was born. That's interesting. You had this very, smart student who was doing computer science and philosophy and had the tech, and you had the passion and the understanding from journalism and getting to know so many people at CoinDesk and just teaching yourself about this, that you guys decided to start a company.
So I was working in Kenya for a bit in 2018. 2018, and as a volunteer for animal welfare, and I became friends with a lot of local workers who are not from Kenya but who migrated to Kenya to work and then to send remnants to their home countries for their families. And I was there with them at local bank branches and to witness how painful all the transactions could be, how anxious, because it's not just about my parents shipping some pocket money to me overseas. It's about they shipping the money they've been saving for years back to their family. Their family been counting on their entire family. So it's a very, very stressful moment to witness, and it could take days or even weeks. So I figured this is not supposed to be the case. We can totally simplify this process as much as possible. But back then I was just a journalist. All I could do was just to write a story and waiting for someone who was more capable to undig it and to uncover it to see what they can change about it. But the first time in my life, I feel like I would like to be the changer myself. So that is how I got this idea that I would like to elevate all these barriers in a banking system. Even though I'm not a finance major, I'm not a tech major, but I just have a really abstract idea of removing some unnecessary boundaries set by central entities. Yeah. But that being said, I do want to disclaim that Sperax is not like 100% want to be decentralized. We are in a line with a lot of Ethereum community mission that we would like to be rid of a lot of intermediaries as much as possible. But I think compliance is a really interesting topic to explore too. It's not all about fighting against the regulations. I think there is a possibility for crypto projects and regulators to walk hand in hand.
Absolutely. Well, speaking of, breaking down barriers, we were introduced because you are working on some awesome initiatives to give back to the community as well, and specifically investing in female entrepreneurs. And would love to tell our viewers more about that program, especially any female founders watching who might want to apply for the grant program.
Yeah, that is something that I'm also very passionate about. The grant program is called Lifted. It was initiated by the January 2021, so at the very beginning of this year. And the program run through the entire year. Is composed of 4 phases. Each phase will last a quarter, so that's how it is composed of the entire year. We concluded the first phase featuring NFT with Polygon Games. Second phase featuring stablecoins building on the infrastructure with Oasis network. And this phase will be blockchain at universities. That is why we got connected with Mousebelt, try to reach as many eligible applicants as much as possible. And the last phase will be interoperability. And this phase, I think we're going to collab with defense. It's a security protocol, and also BAN, Blockchain Education Network, University of Michigan, University of Tufts University, I think Blockchain Acceleration Foundation, and a few others. The reason that I founded this initiative is that I'm glad, Ashlie, you are a woman too, that there are certain barriers for us to succeed in a professional setting, especially in the fintech industry, that only women can share. Try not to sound like a very hothead feminist here, but some really subtle barriers is I find it reluctant to share on the stage in the public area, but I'm pretty sure it's something that a lot of women have experienced the same, that you feel like it's very hard to voice yourself in a male-dominated industry. I think, unfortunately, it became this way not only because of this industry is male dominated, but also because this entire society is still male dominated, very male dominated. So women are not, I would say a lot of the women are not encouraged to share their opinions, to be assertive, to claim their leadership. So this is the landscape. I don't even wish to change, to revolutionize within my lifetime. I'm a very practical person, so I think the most direct help I can provide with women like me is financial help and also mentorship. So that is why I think Lifted is different from other grant programs.
That's so awesome. Yes, I totally agree. I think that from a young age, you know, women and men show an equal interest in science and technology, and it's just not as encouraged for young women. So that kind of falls away. So you see less and less them, pursuing these careers. And then when they do, they're then in the minority and may feel uncomfortable speaking up. There's often issues just in group settings, being able to have your voice heard or have people not take credit for your ideas, things like that. So it can be really overwhelming, but I think a positive thing about the crypto space is that there is so many awesome women out there educating each other and lifting each other up. Love that it's called Lifted. And at the end of the day, you can see all these problems in the world, and like you did with the remittances in other countries, or like we see, like, there's like not really any other women in this room. When you go to a crypto meetup, you can identify these problems and you can talk about them. And then there's a point where I said, okay, well, what are you going to do about it? And I think it's great that you guys are giving back to the community and wanting to invest and encourage women to be founders and to get involved in blockchain. Talk some more about the specifics of the grant. So you're hoping to have projects for this quarter that are focused on university activities or coming from university students, or both. I know it's really open-ended, but just any more information and that you can provide our viewers so that they can get excited and inspired to apply.
Yeah. So before getting to that, I know probably a lot of men are listening in, tuning in. Please don't walk away. I know you might figure this female grant program has nothing to do with your business. It's just a women talk, but actually that's not a case at all. The only criteria is that we require at least one woman in the leadership board if it's a team. So it is totally welcome for men to collab with a woman as long as there's one woman on the leadership board. The theme for this phase will be more about tokenomics. So we encourage some DAO-related academic research, decentralized autonomous organization. We're still figuring out how we can add a mobile integration element in this grant in this phase, but more details will be tailored together with our co-host. And the grants will go all the way up to 15K. Not only one winner necessarily will be picked. It's all up to the situation. For instance, if we find two equally competitive applications, the two can be the winners to split the grants equally. Yeah, that will be the case. And all the application will be live on our website very, very soon. And I'll update with our community as soon as it's live.
Excellent. And so this is anywhere from like $5,000 to $15,000 that someone could get. And you're mostly hoping to see people who are doing research in DAOs, or who might be able to build a mobile app. But there might even potentially be room for people who are working on media or educational projects as well, right?
Yes, totally. Yeah.
Awesome. So really open-ended, basically anything that you're doing to try to work in the blockchain space, elevate the blockchain space, educate about the blockchain space. If you've got a woman on your leadership team, check out the Sperax Lifted grant program.
Yeah,
really excellent.
Follow us on Twitter. We'll pretty much sync up all the latest developments there.
Well, just to round out the segment, as it's our 10th anniversary after a year of kind of doing this virtual blockchain series, maybe a little bit of backwards looking, forward looking, just your experience in the blockchain space. You've talked a bit about what Sperax has accomplished so far and what your plans are for the next year, but what about the blockchain industry? What do you think the biggest developments have been so far this year, and what do you see coming in the future, maybe a year out?
I think I've been mostly excited about the Ethereum upgrade, the London hard fork. Not sure. I'm not very technical. I'm still waiting for a lot of interpretations, a lot of YouTube tutorials from a lot of influencers or from other newsletters I've been following to help us guide about the implication of this upgrade to see how it's going to revolutionize the layer 1. And also, I'm extremely excited about layer 2. That even though that this EIP 1559 was a super success, I still find layer 2 will be extremely essential in the future landscape deployment. So I'm excited about that. And also I think NFT can be a great platform to actually introduce people to the DeFi-verse. I think it's a really seamless connection between people who are into art, who are passionate about making passive income, to get involved into the crypto industry and how they can get further exposure to other products.
Absolutely. Well, for anyone just tuning in, this is Reimagine 2021, the virtual blockchain conference series, and this is our 10th anniversary event. We've been talking to Frida Cai, co-founder at Sperax. Frida, where can people find you, and who do you most want to hear from?
You can find me on Twitter. I'm mostly on Twitter all the time. Also, you can find my teammates, Zach, Alec. Us three are probably the most active ones on Twitter from Sperax. Sorry, the second question?
Who do you most want to hear from?
Who do I start with?
Most want to hear from?
Oh, from this podcast? It would be nice you can interview Laura Shin. I'm not sure she has the bandwidth, but she herself is a podcaster. She also runs a newsletter. So I think it's going to be super cool if a podcaster can interview another podcaster.
Oh yeah, we've definitely got to get her on. Well, thank you so much again, Frida, for joining us, and everybody watching, stay tuned for more.
Thank you, Ashlie.